So I'm obsessed with this like spinny wheel thing that you can get online. And, I was trying to think of, something random that you and I could work on where we spin a wheel and it kind of gives us our direction on what we want to go. What
Okay.
I saw online, I don't know when it began. I'm on Twitter sometimes and I'll find a tweet from like 2015 and think it's the most relevant thing in the world and realize it's been 10 years. But there's this A to Z horror movie challenge that's going on. And each day they pick a letter and you sort of name the horror movie that comes to mind. So
Oh
I
my
thought we could try it. I would
God.
love it. I would love it if, spin the wheel a couple of times and if a letter comes up, which one of us could come up with a horror movie that comes to mind based on the letter that comes up. Now,
You're gonna like
I don't
totally.
know. So we'll do it pretty quick, and that doesn't mean we won't like.
And it has to be a horror movie?
I kind of do want it to be
All right.
A to Z horror movie challenge. So the thought would be if we spin the wheel, a letter comes up, we can see if either of us can come up with a horror movie that comes to mind and maybe speak of it for a
Can we
second.
do it really fast or can we just say
Well, I'm
it?
not going to do it but I think it'd be pretty quick.
Okay.
When we can just sort of spin the wheel until we find inspiration. So
All
share
right.
my screen. All right, so hopefully you see
Oh, I like it.
the chicka chicka thing. I think it makes sounds as well. So spinning the wheel, my hope would be is when it lands on a letter that we can come up with a horror movie with the letter that comes up.
Okay.
I love that chicka chicka sound.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Okay, the letter is F.
F. Letter is F. Okay, I've got one.
Okay, say it.
Fright Night.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, so Fright Night. To me, what comes to mind? You say what comes to why did that come to mind?
Oh.
What do you think of for that movie? Like what is it that comes?
It's probably one of the first actual horror movies I saw, and it was probably with you at your house, at your grandparents'
So
house.
to me, I feel like Fright Night came out when we were legal enough to see R-rated movies. So
Okay.
in my mind, that is the White River Drive-In to me. Like I remember seeing that there, the pickup truck, and I can remember like being like me, you, Chris. Chris was
Okay.
getting work at the time, and probably like Karen was most likely with us.
Yeah.
But I remember that being at the White River Drive-In. That's
Okay. I
that.
figured it was you, but we'd seen so many horror movies either at your house or Maura's, some of those type of movies.
So yeah, to me, I remember ordering that in the video store that I worked in at the time. So I was certainly of age to probably see horror movies. So I love that you came up with that. Did you see the remake? Did you see the Colin Farrell remake?
No.
All right, so there is one. I've not seen it either.
Okay. What would you think of?
Immediately what came to mind to me was Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah. And we were just talking about not too long ago. What was the deal on Twitter? I don't remember what you were saying about it.
I think it was the anniversary of Friday the 13th Part 2.
That's right.
So to me, Friday the 13th, my family was pretty progressive and didn't mind me seeing R-rated movies. So we would go to the movie theater, and there was this manager of the movie theater at the time who would always try to talk my mother and my grandmother out of letting me see these R-rated movies. So we'd go, we'd buy, and she would try to convince them that these movies were not whatever. Never did she convince them until we went to see Friday the 13th. So I think it was so provocative at the time, and it was pretty gory at the time, that was the one time that movie theater person convinced my mother.
I can't even believe she convinced your mother.
I don't know. I just kind of scroll. All right, I'm scrolling down.
Yep.
So so that to me is what I remember of that. And I had to go to like a baby movie. Like I had to go to like Lady and the Tramp.
Because they still went to see it.
I went and saw Modern Times, which was that telekinesis movie that Chevy Chase did, which was still a great movie. But yeah, So do we want to do another one?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
I could do this all night.
So we have a Fright Night and we have a Friday the 13th for our A to Z horror movie challenge. Let's spin the wheel one more time. Because that was a good one to land on.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
You've got one?
So
C?
letter C came up. Yes, I do have one.
Okay, I have one too.
All right. So
you want to go first this time?
I'll go first, only because I found a Jennifer Tilly Twitter account the other day. Child's Play comes to mind. Not because she was in Child's Play, she was in Bride of Chucky, which made me think of Child's Play. So Child's Play is what comes to mind.
Oh, freaky movie. Like, I know that it's like got silly and now like I could probably watch it and not be scared, but that was a movie of jumps.
That scared me because I think it was sort of like Chucky, like cuts somebody's, like, what is that behind the heel?
Yes, the Achilles heel. Oh, yes.
So, like, that is what I remember of that. And it had that, Catherine was the actress, and I can't remember her name. She played Marilyn Monroe in a TV movie.
Yeah, I can see her.
So what is your C movie?
Carrie.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
It means what?
Like I said, Fright Night was not the first horror movie I saw. I think I was like, I don't know, bashed upside the head thinking about that. Carrie, I don't know if it was the first one, but you introduced me to the horror movie. I don't think I was ever really allowed to watch horror movies or anything. We became friends in 6th grade. It was after that I started watching horror movies.
So I always use this movie as an example of how different it was to grow up in the 70s when children weren't, as they say, precious cargo. So I saw it in its original theatrical run, which would have been in 76, which would have meant I was 7 years old.
Wow.
And I can remember seeing it at said drive-in in White River Junction, Vermont. And I was so devastatedly scared of it. Like at the end, when the hand comes out of the ground, I fell asleep on the way home and I woke up petrified because I was dreaming that hands were coming up on Route 89.
Oh my God.
So that was, I always say we weren't precious cargo in the 70s because I saw Carrie in its original theatrical run, which is so funny because, it wasn't like Friday the 13th, but yeah, that
just horrifying. And I mean, Piper Laurie, and I mean, that one was not just, oh my God, that was not just a horror movie. That was Brian De Palma, that was Sissy Spacek, that was Piper Laurie, that was Alan and John Travolta. It's
an amount of anxiety leading up. She's in store for. It is the most heartbreaking thing in the world.
Oh, so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. There's on so many different levels. So.
And I have no idea when I saw it, but I knew that you had seen it, told me, like, basically, I don't know if you were the one that showed it to me or if I like sneakily rented the VHS and watched it while my mother was at work. Because even as a high schooler, she very rarely would, like, she was a couple of Dressed to Kill is one that she let me watch. She watched it with me and I was hiding in the other room when she was like, oh, he's got the nurse's shoes on. Like, she was telling me all the scary parts, even though she hated watching them. I think that's one of the reasons.
Well, at least it was edited. I saw that in its original theatrical run. I was such an adult back then. So what was I? I mean, that was 1980. So I think I was, 10 or 11.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So do we want to do one more?
One more, please.
All right. So Creaky wheel.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know if it's considered a horror movie. I can think of.
All right, well, say it. I'm kind of drawing a blank. Anaconda? That is the only thing that came to mind for me is Anaconda. I don't know if. I think it's kind of it's to me, it's like sci-fi vein. It's like those Creature from the
Black Lagoon
thing, which I guess it was. So yeah, Anaconda.
I mean, and Jennifer Lopez. So
Yeah, I remember loving that, and I remember that, like, not to get on a J-Lo train, but what was so, you remember this time when somebody was immediately popping and becoming a star. She had done Selena, and then she had done this, and then I can't remember if it was The Cell that she did. It was just like this, suddenly you
Ugh,
had
the
this movie
sound.
star explode like right in front of you, like she was on that, like it was really landing. I remember
Hmm.
liking that. Was Ice T and not Ice T,
Hmm.
Ice Cube.
Ice
Ice
Cube.
T is SUV,
Yeah, it was Ice
and
Cube.
Ice Cube is the one that has the cute son that was in Ingrid Goes West.
Hmm. I
So
loved Ingrid Goes West.
yeah. So all right, well, so we did three. So we had an A, C, and an F. And I guess that's our contribution to the hashtag A to Z horror movie challenge
That's
tonight.
a pretty good contribution.
Yeah, no, I thought that was great. All right. So on that note, we'll figure out other usages that we can have for that ticker tape, maybe a random fire. And the topic is, and we can do the five for
Oh
the
yeah, that wheel has to come back.
but I thought that A to Z horror movie challenge was kind of fun. So thank you for thank you for participating.
100%. That was
All right.
fun.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.